And now we move on to our review portion of the podcast, where we start off reviewing the latest reboot of Hellboy, directed by Neil Marshall, the director of The Descent.
Do we have to?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, let's first talk a little bit about, because I know we've both seen both Hellboy movies.
Yeah.
How do you feel about them?
I liked both of them kind of for what they were. Overall, I'd say they're decent movies. Not amazing, but pretty good.
Yeah, I was never the biggest, like, slobbering fan of it, but I remember thinking they were solid as hell. Like, really fun, things about them that worked especially well. And,
yeah, but anyway.
I haven't, never really thought I'd come to appreciate those Guillermo Del Toro flicks more than now.
No, I hear you.
I like them a little bit more now that I have seen this one. Obviously, this has been getting ran into the ground by a bunch of people.
This has been getting shit on mercilessly. And, some
of it's fair, some of it not so much.
I would say a lot of it's pretty fair. Mm-hmm. But one of the main points of contention that didn't really bother me that much, people are saying this is overly gory.
Yeah, I don't think it is.
I mean,
it is at times, but not overall.
Yeah, it wasn't like, throwing kidneys and intestines at the screen and then streaking down the lens like.
Yeah, no, it's not that bad.
like slowly sliding down and leaving a trail. Like it wasn't that like overtly disgusting. I mean,
the reviews are making it seem like fucking Eli Roth made this.
Yeah,
and it's not.
This is
bad.
Not Hostel 2.
No, it gets violent. Like, don't bring your kids to see this.
No,
but
shit.
It's pretty.
It's R.
It's just an R-rated movie, and that's one of the biggest problems that I had with this. Is that, and we were talking about this going in. That it leans a little bit too far into the R to the point of almost self-parody, where it was like, the first few minutes of the movie, it just felt like it had. And I was talking about this with another friend of mine. We were comparing it to like. This felt like it was really trying to shit on the past two Guillermo del Toro movies.
How so?
It's like, hey, nerds, remember those shitty Guillermo del Toro Hellboy movies that you all hated? It's like, no? Mm-hmm. Well, get a load of this. It's the fucking Middle Age. Like, every other word is fuck, and like, fuck, shit, fuck. And like, there's gore, but it's like not horrible. It's not hostile, but like still, like people get their heads blown off. The opening scene is like, Mila Jovovich gets her head cut off, and then her arm cut off, and then it's just like
that was part of the story. So
that's true.
That's fair.
But do you remember the Mike Mignola? Have you read the Mike Mignola comics at all?
A little bit.
Are they that bad, or are they that overtly like? Did they, when you read them, like could you
overly edgy? No.
That's what I meant. Like, this was like Hollywood Undead could have done the score for this movie.
No, I mean, here's what I'll agree with. It's not that the gore itself was so bothersome. It just felt out of place in this movie.
Right.
I think if that's what people have a problem with, yeah, I agree with you there. I'm just saying, like, the gore itself, like, I've seen, as I said, this ain't Hostel 2. It could be a lot grosser.
Well, I mean, the first... See, what's weird is the gore is so cheap by the end of the movie. There's so much of it that's just there becomes an inflation on, some guy got his head ripped off, whatever. But like when somebody got fucking shot, or in the beginning of Hellboy, like even when the original Hellboy, the Guillermo del Toro one, where we see like Rasputin like kills that guy and he falls onto like that glyph and like the blood like fills up. It's like the blood's like all goopy and like it's just like... The tone was better, so it wasn't as flippant about people getting killed. So when people got killed, you're more along the lines to be shocked by, like, oh, someone just got fucking blown away.
Yeah,
this movie's... Jesus Christ, there's so many issues to talk about with this.
Well, yeah, from the get-go, honestly, minor spoiler, the narrator, for no reason at all, for like second or third line of the movie, says... In the Middle fucking Ages.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, the first word out of the movie is like, fuck.
I literally sat back when I heard that and thought in my head, okay, so this movie's going to be bad. Mm-hmm. It's like...
It doesn't get better after that scene.
See, that's the thing, is I thought, well, maybe, Alex, don't jump to conclusions that fast. Mm-hmm. And then the rest of the movie said, yes, Alex, jump to conclusions that fast. And you know what the weird thing is? People are kind of saying that this is so above and beyond bad But it was more that it was just bad. Mm-hmm. I mean, it was really bad. But it wasn't interesting bad. It was just kind of, everything was just so blah. Mm-hmm. Like the cinematography was just kind of whatever. A lot of the fight scenes, there's a part where Hellboy's fighting one of the monsters and they're trading blows and they just abruptly stop for a second and it was just real weird. It just felt very broken up and choppy. Mm-hmm. I mean, I was half expecting them to just go to your corners, have a ringman come out. No, man, you got to throw the 2-3-2.
Cut man comes out of the
2-3-2. Yeah, and then high kicks. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a very haphazard film in terms of how it's put together. Like the opening scene, which isn't spoilers. It's like a flashback scene.
Yeah,
one of many
Niamu or whatever her name is.
I call her Nimrod. That's
yeah.
Nimue, I think is her name.
Nimue, that's
the Blood Queen, played by Mila Jovovich. Like there are beats. I swear to God, there isn't one emotion in this opening scene that lasts more than a half second. Like there's a scene where she gets stabbed through the chest at a tree, and she's like, "You fools! You can't stop me with mere mortal weapons." King Arthur comes up. I have Excalibur, Mila Jovovich. No, it's like, what is going? It feels like. Did you feel like that scene was like somebody on speed like edited that shit?
Well, it reminded me of a couple movies.
What's that?
One, it reminded me of a certain fella by the name of Doobie White, who's
little bit
an editor.
Oh, not as bad, but a little bit.
Not even close to as bad, but it was sort of.
It was missing about 1,700 extra cuts.
No, it was one of those. It was one of the. Yes. To reach his legendary status, one must cut more.
Yes.
No, but it did feel. It felt like one of those things where every shot felt like it was 2 or 3, a tick or two. Too soon, mm-hmm.
It's like, let this breathe a little bit, guys.
You know what? There was another movie that was 72 minutes in running length.
Ooh.
Jonah Hex.
This had the opposite problem, though, where this had too much material. It had too much material that didn't need to be there. Like, here's this other flashback.
No, but I was referring to the editing style.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but you're, okay, go on with the
material. Like, that's the reason, because I was starting to think that. I'm like, why are we cutting so fast? And I later on realized, oh shit, it's because you have a bunch of useless shit you want to show me. Like, Daniel Day Kim, how'd you get scars on your face? I was in the forest. Oh my God.
Yeah, okay.
There's so many flashbacks.
The flashbacks were...
Hellboy, I was there the day you were born. Oh, fuck.
All right, are we just giving up on non-spoilers?
Well, I'm not spoiling much. Okay. I mean, we don't know how Hellboy gets born.
The point, yes, there are flashbacks. Mm-hmm. There are far too many of them, and there is one that's actually pretty damn good.
Which one?
Well, I can't tell.
Oh, okay.
I'll save that for spoilers.
Okay.
There's one that I thought was pretty decent. Mm-hmm. But in addition to the flashbacks, there's just scenes that really didn't seem to matter.
Yeah.
Like the beginning scene where we find Hellboy, that felt like a really long walk off a short pier.
There's a lot of detours.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
There's a scene where he's got to fight giants.
Right. There's one crucial line of dialogue in about 4 or 5 scenes that just felt super long and unnecessary. Mm-hmm. There's all sorts of twists and turns that you think, okay, where's this going? Oh, right. It's just not a non-development and isn't going anywhere. And that involves something to do with the giants, which we'll talk about. I mean, it's a bad movie. It's really bad. I'm not gonna.
I could forgive all the narrative problem if the
action was cool.
Well, if the action's, that's honestly one of the things I didn't mind. Like, it's not very good, but the scene where he fights the giants is pretty cool.
Yeah, I was gonna say that one's all right. I think it's, you know what it is? It's that it varies so much.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just really not consistent across the board. Mm-hmm. Even the CGI, which again we'll get to in spoilers. There's some specific CGI moments that are really atrocious for. Now I'll say this to be fair, for 2019.
Yeah.
2007,
pretty good.
Yeah.
If this was The Mummy Returns, about on par with what we got.
Yeah, but
for a couple scenes.
That's what I'm saying. But there's also, I mean, there are some scenes where the CGI was all right or it was fine.
Yeah, it's fine. Point being, it's very inconsistent in many regards, if not all.
It's pretty inconsistent in every way. Mm-hmm. And I guess the weird thing was about the detours is you didn't get so lost that you couldn't follow the thread. Overall, it's pretty straightforward. It's just there's a lot of little segues that kind of don't matter. And then it's like, all right, but back to the main through line.
Right.
Problem is the main through line was kind of shitty. Mm-hmm. There were some developments that were sort of B stories about Hellboy and how he feels about his role about being Hellboy. Mm-hmm. They sort of dropped that on us a little too late, I think is a big problem.
And in the end, it just feels like a not as well developed version of the way they handled that in the Del Toro films.
Okay. So now on to spoilers, unless you got something else.
Well, just a brief note for people who don't want to, unless you don't care about spoilers, but the acting overall, what would you give it? High marks in any region?
I thought Hellboy was fine.
I like David Harbour.
I thought Sasha Lane she needs some work on the accent.
You know what's weird is I honestly thought it was real because to me, like, Cockney accents sound so offensive even when they're actual ones.
Oh, I know.
It's like, dude,
you know where I get that? I get that with Irish accents. I feel like such a dumbass. I'm like, what a stupid phony Irish accent.
It's like, no, that's actually them talking.
Like, Alex, no, like, he's from Ireland, you idiot. I'm like, oh,
but. Now that I think about it, now knowing that she was American doing a Cockney accent, I'm like, all right, maybe it's not great.
Well, no, something felt weird about it. I mean,
it's overdone, overcooked a little bit.
Yeah, it's a little much. I think her acting in general was fine.
She's fine. Everybody does
honestly,
okay.
I kind of feel like she was one of the only characters that was likable.
Yeah, she's not really a bad person. What's
his name? Like Daniel Day Kim is that? His character sucked.
Yeah, he's not great.
He was completely unnecessary, and there's this weird, like, they're trying to overdo the whole animosity between him and Hellboy.
What's his motivations? And it doesn't go anywhere.
Like, who cares? He's like, I don't trust you, Hellboy, and Hellboy's like, I don't trust you. It's like, this is not helping this movie right now.
See, that's my big issue with this movie that I want to come back to. It's not, I don't have a problem with it's the take. It's a bad take on Hellboy. So there was once a nuanced caginess to the interpretation of the character in the Del Toro films. It was almost sad. He was a very sad character, but he was also, most importantly, cool.
Yeah.
But now, where there was once sadness, there is anger. He's always yelling at Dad, "Fuck you, Dad," and pissed, "You made me a weapon." And there was once fun, sardonic wit.
Yeah.
There was shitty camera winking punniness now. There's I shit you not. There's a line in here where he says, a character gets decapitated, and he says, "Why don't you quit while you're ahead?" I shit you not is a line. And when there was once nuance, there's now just a big bloated mess of a story with people getting their faces ripped off for the sake of making it look cool. And I'm all for that, but I just didn't feel anything.
It's just like, you got to have face ripping off and a great story to justify it.
It's loud, it's ugly, and it's poorly put together.
Yeah.
I don't know what else to say about it. It's not great.
Yeah,
so there's a few glimmers of competency. Like, I like David Harbour. The couple action scenes are good.
Yeah, but that's kind of my problem is back to what you were saying about his character. He just comes off as kind of a wannabe Wolverine from the comics.
Yeah, he's not wasn't Hellboy from I hate comparing it to the originals or the previous movies, but you get a sense he's a big softy. He's always
kind of smart. Yeah,
he's always eating Baby Ruths. He's got a sweet tooth. He's got a heart. This guy's just an asshole.
Yeah,
and he's just not a bad character to watch, but
no,
just a little
that's the
angrier.
thing. It's it's not that I can't watch a character like this. It's just, I guess it was a bit too much of a departure for me from what I thought Hellboy was. Because as you said, I kind of figured he was, sort of a lovable oaf in some ways. Mm-hmm. And as you said, he was just kind of grumpy here.
Yeah.
All right, let's just move on to spoilers. So, I guess I'll start with some goods.
Yes.
The giant fight was pretty cool.
I like that scene.
I thought it was not bad.
Though I didn't at all, I cannot justify the actual point of it.
Well, see, that's what's so dumb. We were only trying to kill you, Hellboy. Mm-hmm. And then it's like, all right, cool. So where's this going? They must be working with the Queen. Psych, the Queen killed everyone.
Yeah.
Okay, what the hell was the point of any of that?
Yeah, it was a huge detour. It's about 15 minutes of screen time that we can just get rid of. And we can make the editing of the entire movie better if you do that. For a lot of scenes that don't need to be there, but lest we forget, it's there.
There's one scene that didn't need to be there. It was actually my favorite scene.
Which one?
Lobster Johnson.
Thomas Hayden Church.
No, that shit was cool.
Yeah, it was funny.
It was weird. It was kind of campy, and it felt almost like a more hyper wacky version of the Guillermo Del Toro Hellboys. That felt like that didn't belong in this movie.
Yeah, it was very weird, especially because it never comes back.
Yeah, I thought, what the... You know what it reminded me of, honestly? A little too much? The Flash being in Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
Because it's like, oh, cool, look at this. Oh, that's kind of better than the rest of the movie. Oh well.
It's such a weird scene, but I feel you, and it was at least good to see, like, oh, Thomas Hayden Church, cool.
No, but I thought, like, the action looked cool in that scene. I thought it was, well designed. Everything looked good in that scene. Mm-hmm. Also, I guess this is the other good thing, although it was also kind of not, because it was a very pointless scene.
What's that?
The Baba Yaga.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Her design was creepy as hell.
See, that's another one of the glimmers I was going to say, is I think the production design at times is very interesting.
But that's what I mean. It's like you couldn't even say, oh, the production design across the board.
Yeah, no, it's not. There are a couple scenes that are really stupid and bad to look at. There are a couple characters that suck.
Pro wrestling scene's real dumb.
Yeah, it's not great.
That's another thing. You know what they did? They for the sake of editing a trailer, there are 2 action scenes in particular that really had no bearing on the plot that were used as major cutting points and beats in the trailer. The wrestling scene at the beginning and the last scene at the end, which I thought was like a pretty decent action scene. But, by that time, it almost feels like a dream sequence. You're like, this doesn't count. This doesn't matter. Who cares?
Yeah.
Like, great. Finally, we get to see Sasha Lane, whatever her character's name is, and the Damn Day Kim and Hellboy all working together, doing, their trio of badassery. And it's like, you know what? By this point, I was literally saying to myself, please just end. I'm done with this.
It's long. It's 2 hours too long. It's 2 hours. Like, this did not need to be 2 hours, man.
That's another thing. It definitely didn't need to be 2 hours. Sasha Lane, her whole thing. Oh, I can kind of do ghost stuff. Mm-hmm. Where'd you learn to do that? Oh, I don't know. I guess someone said we need more fighting people on this team, so now I can do fighting stuff.
Man, oh man, did that look bad.
Yeah, no, but
the ghost vomit.
Yeah, her ghost barfing thing. Yeah,
I mean, not even just bad and like ew, gross, but the scene at the end where Ian McShane is a tapeworm. We hold on his face for it's got to be at least 2 or 3 minutes.
Yeah,
and he is just so poorly rendered, like stuttering around like a shitty PS2 graphic. Oh man, he looked like the Scorpion King from Memory Returns.
Yeah, I was gonna say, when I was thinking about the level of graphics, it's the kind where you'd say, if this were a video game, whoa, dude, that's pretty good for a video game.
Yeah. It's very weird. Very, very weird.
There's the whole Hellboy, I'm just a weapon. Mm-hmm. Halfway through the movie, starts to complain about that.
Yeah.
Little much of a too little too late thing.
Whereas this is something in the originals that's always on the Ron Perlman character's mind all the time. Like he's always lived under the premise of, I was born to be a fucking demon monster fighter thing.
Right, and the other thing that made that more effective in the other ones is because he's a softie, it makes more sense that he's like, but I don't want to be a weapon. This Hellboy kind of seems like, whatever, man. Like, he seems like the kind who'd be, sort of indifferent to that. Like, so it kind of felt out of nowhere.
Also, don't you remember how, like, there was this cool element of, like, urban legendness around Hellboy? Like, he existed only in the BPRD, in the original Hellboy movies. And, like, in the real world, he had to, like, hide himself, and he had to, like
Ninja Turtle style.
Exactly. This one just, like, he's walking around London, and he's walking around Tijuana, and whatever, and it's whatever, but...
How bad was that opening scene in the wrestling mat, or the wrestling room thing?
You know what? It was better than the Pendle Hill scene before it, so I'll give it that. It's not good. But
and he just kills the dude. Also, did he kill him by accident? Like, what the hell happened?
It was very weird. It's very weird physics. Like, he threw him away, but he threw him away and fell
impaled on the turnbuckle?
Yeah, it was weird.
Okay, sure. Oh, by the way, blah, blah, it's the end of something. All right, cool. That's what I mean. It was just one of those things where I was saying in non-spoilers, like, there's so many things where we need this one crucial line. It's like the Baba Yaga thing. Mm-hmm. Also, he didn't find the Baba Yaga. She just summoned him there.
Yeah. Very weird.
Yeah, it was no bueno. Mm-hmm. don't know if I have much else to say about this movie. It sucked. It was not good. As you said, there were a couple action scenes that were all right. The Giants one was cool. The graveyard one was meh.
This is what
I liked the Lobster Johnson thing.
Yeah, it was all right. But overall, we can say that this is what Frank Reynolds would call a botch job.
Yes,
there is many studio fuckeries allegedly going on.
Oh yeah, I heard, and it kind of shows.
It shows in spades. I
mean, it kind of comes across, and the performances seem phoned in.
There's scenes where
in some scenes
you feel like David Harbour's soul is leaving his body in certain scenes. Like,
yeah.
Allegedly, there was some strife between him and the producers and the director Neil Marshall. I guess he allegedly wrote additional scenes for the movie in costume with Ian McShane in his trailer at certain points.
Yeah.
There's a rumor that Neil Marshall had his go-to cinematographer fired off of the project beforehand by the producers as like a show of like, don't mess with us. This is the kind of power we have. Again, this is all alleged. There was a huge argument about a tree. I'd imagine it's the Pendle Hill tree between the producers and the director. I think it was like there was an argument over whether or not they wanted the tree to look symmetrical or jagged Tim Burton-like, and it was like a multiple days long argument. So these are some of the things that are alleged. Some of them are too specific to think that are bullshit. So just, if you're a studio exec out there, just be nice. If you're a director out there, be nice to your bosses, because
nah, fuck that. Don't listen to anybody.
Yeah, we watch shitty movies from now on. Yeah. No, because we're the ones that are suffering for it. I had to sit through 2 hours. I'm not really going to get back. And while it's not a complete piece of shit, it's not good. It's not good at all. It is though. I mean, it's not that bad. Like it's pretty fucking bad.
I mean.
It's the worst. It's not the worst comic book movie I've ever seen, but it's definitely the worst one I've seen in a while.
Third worst movie I've seen this year so far. But anyway, yeah. So let's move on to scores, unless you've got any parting words.
Goodbye, Hellboy.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Guillermo.
Yeah.
We wish you'd gotten that trilogy.
Any other closing remarks?
No.
All right, so I'm going to give this 1.5 out of 5.
I'm going to give it a 4 out of 10. It's not very good.
Yeah. So, pretty low marks. Mm-hmm. That ends up being a
5.5 out of 15.
So, not good. That'll do it for our review of Clifford the Big Red Demon in Demons Are People Too.